Good afternoon, Josh. How are you doing, my friend?
How you doing, Leighton? Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, good to be seen. Yeah, I'm doing great. Just cruising through life. Always some complications here and there, but we work through them. So,
Yeah, there's always something. There's always something in life, ain't it?
welcome back to the show. We've got a lot to
Thank
talk
you.
about. Where would you like to begin?
Oh man, since we last talked, I think was back earlier this year. I was in the middle of building the new system. People that follow me, I know I've been running it for about a month now, month and a couple of days, and everything's doing fine. Everything's doing great. The old system, well, I say old, it's a year and going into a year and 8 months now. So we're a year and just finished up a year and 7 months, going into month eight. Our sixth run. So we're on our sixth run of cannabis. This time we just did kind of a re-amend, so to speak, with IMO 5. I used a little APSU super soil mixed in with my IMO 5 to add a little bit more amendments. But yeah, other than that, Leighton, it's been smooth sailing except for one hiccup we had a couple of months ago. It's been 2.5 months now since I literally crashed the whole system over here.
Oh,
And
why don't you talk about that for a minute?
yeah, and it was all due to my failure to basically pay attention to what was really going on. I was more focused on going into flower. I was day 38ish of flower, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna hit it with some deep red, some far red. So I was gonna add in some of this deep far red with the Grand Masters, and I what I did was I lowered the cool white too low, and so I had the reds too high, the whites too low, and I cooked off basically all my algae, my cyanobacteria, my photosynthetic bacteria, everything. Like the algae, it was like it literally just I saw it going away, and I really didn't it didn't register in my head. I was like, the algae is looking a little different. And then I was like, okay, now that like maybe 3 days later, I was like, wow, the algae is just it's not growing like I'm not pulling it out like I should be. It's not growing like it was just a couple weeks ago. And I'm looking around and I'm like, okay, well, I was seeing a lot of shrimp. I had a lot of cherry shrimp all in the creek. And I was like, I'm not seeing my cherry shrimp. Okay, a couple more days go by. And keep in mind that I didn't have those far deep reds in on all the time. I had them on for like 3 days, and I turned them off, and I turned them on for another 3 days. And I think that was just too much. Obviously, it was too much. And yeah, it just crashed the system. Thankfully, I'm part of this regenerators. Mo calls it regenerator. The regenerator. Mo's been on your show from Agro Soil,
Mhm.
the microscopist. He has a show, or he puts on a little thing on Monday nights where a bunch of people get together. And he invited me, and I've been showing up there, and I mentioned what had happened, what I was seeing. And he was like, it sounds like you're killing off your cyanobacteria. Sounds like you're like your purple non-sulfurs and your lab and all these things that are keeping everything in balance just got somehow cooked. And then somebody else was like, after doing a little research online, was like, yeah, deep red kills cyanobacteria. Like if you go too high in the nanometer range, like the 680, 700 range, it actually can kill uh, cyanobacteria. It definitely can kill algae. It kills algae like that. I mean, you get up in those high ranges, like the 700 range. I mean, it's like it just disappears. I don't even know where it goes. It like the algae's there 1 minute and then it's gone the next, and then it's not growing back. And I'm like, oh man, where? I mean, what the hell? And it all started when I started messing with the lights, and they were like, yes, you need to go back. And I was like, okay, let's change the lights back and let's do a full water change. So I took the next week and I did a 10-gallon water change on Monday, and then I did a 10-gallon water change on Tuesday, and then I did a 10-gallon water change on Wednesday. And I did it slowly over from Monday to Friday until I got it all changed out. And in that week's time, I mean, the next following week, I started seeing the algae coming back. I started seeing, I started seeing little shrimp. Uh, Everything just started to change. Let me flip around and I can show you the remnants of the crash, because I'm just now the grass along the edge of the creek. I'll show you here. Let me flip around.
So where do you think the shrimp came from? Were they in the pond water that you applied?
The shrimp? I put 10 shrimp in, 10 cherry shrimp into the pond when we first started the pond up. So we first started the pond up, but somehow they jumped up into the creek or just climbed up the wood and got into the creek and then populated the creek, because there were no predators up here in the creek at the time.
But I want to try to understand. The cherry shrimp came back in the tank, but they died in the stream.
I think what happened was that the creek. I lost a fish in the pond. All right, but only one shiner, one minnow shiner, was the only one I lost. Everything else, like it never happened.
Okay.
But all the shrimp, it must have been 1,000 shrimp. They had populated all through here. You see them everywhere, and they disappeared. All the algae through here. So you see all the algae growing, the bubbled up. It's all bubbled up all around the edge. And, I have to come in here and just pull it out. Like, that's just all algae.
Yep.
But this is my filter. So once my filter went away, it took about 3 days for the pond to crash.
Oh, so crash.
Oh, yeah. That's the only reason, like the fish, so I tested it. My numbers were off the charts, put it to you that way. So I knew immediately, from my freshwater experience and my saltwater experience, that I knew I had to do a water change, because basically water change, when you're having trouble in aquariums, water change is like the first thing that you're going to want to do is do that water change. But you can see the grass down here. You can see all that brown grass down through there.
Yep.
That's all from the crash, okay? All the way around. So all the way around.
Right on the water's edge.
It was brown as brown could be. And then the plants that were connected, shriveling up, brown spot. I mean, nasty looking, not good at all. Okay? This was all in a week's time. And I was in day 38 of flowers, so that, everything's up here, and everything is just looking not good at all. And I was just like, wow. I was like, all that, I took 1.5 years to get all that built up, and then
those systems are, and it's, they do come back, and they can come back quite quickly, but any imbalance in the soil, pollution can just devastate an entire ecosystem very, very quickly.
Oh man, it was insane how fast it happened. I was like, wow. And it was almost as if what was I getting ready? I had something on my mind. I was like, I know what. No, it was the worms. It was the worms. Like right now here, I'll show you. I have this poker here. And this is my best friend in here. This right here. It's my best friend. And I use this, and I can hit the top of the rock wall here. So top of the rock wall. This is the top of the creek, basically. And all this grass is just sand and silt on top of the rock wall. And then I can run this down, find the edge of the rock wall, and then run this down the soil and pull it away a little bit. And this is really helping regulate moisture and worm castings. Oh my goodness, Leighton. Like this is the problem. Look, there's one. I just pulled it up. Just pulling it out, and there's a worm. Yep. This is the issue that what I'm hearing people having in a system like this, or not like this, but in like a 4x4 running all natural. You know what I mean? Like a
Living,
horizontal soil
the
system
living.
in yeah, living system, horizontal setup. In 2 years, their systems are worm castings and they can't grow anything in them. Like it's just like they take over the bed. It's so rich, and you're growing in basically pure worm casting after about 2 years. And what I've seen is that around the edge, all right, look how I can I'll grab this grass here, and this is sitting on top. That's sitting on top. That used to be nothing but sand and silt. Now it's pure worm, but it's got roots in it. Okay,
Yep.
so it used to be where it's pure worm casting, but it's got these roots growing in it, which keep it aerated. So when I crashed the system, everything, all these roots died. The worms left, creating a non-oxygen rich environment through here, which basically everything you could just see couldn't breathe. Basically, it was like everything was just suffocating and dying off and couldn't take up nutrients. It was just, you could explain it better than me what was going on, but that's what I saw happening. Everything was just like getting choked to death. Couldn't breathe. It couldn't take up anything. So it was in survival mode, and everything cysted up, you know. And I've been sending my soil samples to Mo over at iGrow Soil, and he's been looking at them. So I sent him a sample at the very beginning, and it was, I mean, the soil looked great. Everything we had tested, we had nebas, we were seeing it all. And then I sent him a sample just after the crash, and it looked like a dead zone. I mean, it was just, it was completely different. You know, you could literally see the death, and you can see everything cysted up.
Did he see a bunch of anaerobes like ciliates or facultative?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we were seeing all of that. You know, we were seeing all of that, and you know, we were like, wow, this is a huge difference transferring from like a great system to just almost trash. You know, like a dying system in like a month. You know, it didn't take long, and I was all right. Now I'm going to bring it back. So I sent him another sample. Just maybe I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I sent him another sample. No, it's been about a month and a half, and I sent him a sample again while we were in the middle of the recovery. He's like, things are looking better. He was actually could see, like, yeah, I'm seeing things that are looking. This is in a. It looks like he goes. It's like, this looks like a recovery mode. Things are looking like they're kind of, you know, in a recovery mode. I was like, okay, so now I'm in full recovery. It's been 2 months, and I just took samples today, and I'm going to mail them off to him, and we're going to be looking at that on the Soil Discovery show, um, on my channel,
Nice.
and that's what we've been doing. So we've been literally monitoring this soil and watching it transform under the microscope. And the plants, now that I have got it back under control, it's been 2 months. The plants look healthy again. They're growing great. This is day 20 from transplant. So I transplanted these 20 days ago. And yeah, now we are day 900 and some, 911, I
So,
think.
did you have any type of transplant shock?
It took about 10 days for me to see growth.
Okay.
Like from one time I took them out and just put them, I cut the bottom of the pot off and stuck them down in there. And then it took about 10 days for me to, I didn't see any drooping. It was no, you know, no plant shock, but it just took about 10, 11 days for me to start seeing new growth.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then we've got this newbie. You haven't seen this
No,
unless you've
well, I've seen your posts on it. I've kind of been keeping track.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the new one. So this is all APSU super soil. So we're going water only. Um, that's what this soil is designed to do. Look at this guy right here.
Nice.
What is that? That looks dangerous.
No,
Got yellow.
it's a predatory wasp. Those are actually
Yeah.
indigenous. They're not aggressive. I mean, yeah, if you beat at them or swing at them, they're going to sting you. But otherwise, they're non-aggressive. They're actually
Yeah.
grooming. They're grooming, looking for any food scraps, any little insects. So that's a really good beneficial for you.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen him before. It's a different. I've got the black soldier flies everywhere in here. I'm swapping them out of my hair most of the time, but yeah, we've got these plants over here. I've got sweet potato. This is probably a mistake, but we're going with it. It's chop and drop. Getting crazy. It's just I'm rolling it up basically. I'm just using it to kind of give me some ground cover. Look at it. It's going crazy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a happy plant, man. Look at all those flowers.
Yeah, look at all the flowers.
You're gonna have quite a production there, my friend.
we got spinach. We got some spinach here, and then we got some cherry tomatoes. We got some cucumbers.
Nice.
This is an experiment. I just got a little bit of super soil with a transplanted extra, so to speak. So they've got a yellow squash down there, looking good. And then this giant tomato plant's gone crazy. I haven't got any tomatoes. It just smells like a strong tomato.
Very good.
I mean, it's like, when you touch it, it's just, whew, it smells like. Well, we got our bullhead minnows in here right now. They're just keeping the pond clean, trying to keep the algae down a little bit. I bought 24 of them, and I've lost probably 10 of 24 since I put them in. But those 10 made it over to the graveyard over there as IMO.
Well, remember, as some fish grow, the smaller or weaker ones die. So
Yep.
it's just a transition.
You see that right there on that log?
Yeah. What is it?
Those are fish eggs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just saw those yesterday. So those are fish eggs.
Well, it's a healthy system if they're laying eggs.
Yep. So we've got eggs. So hopefully won't have to buy any more bullheads. Those bullhead minnows, I tell you, I got them for like $4 at the bait and tackle shop down the street. They're just bait fish.
Yep.
People use them for bass fishing and catfishing and stuff like that. But man, they are algae consuming things, man. I mean, you can pull it out of the creek, throw it in here, and they're just they're like freaking piranhas.
No.
Okay, guys, I want to pull you back for half a second to the worm casting.
Oh yeah.
What should he do if his bed is going all worm castings?
That's a great question. I was kind of letting him give the whole tour, and then I was going to wind it back. But thank you, Ken.
Yeah.
So, because you have no predators and you have the perfect environment, I could see how they tear through there. And
in the soil, there's already everything you need in that super soil is there. It's water only, and when people go adding things to it, that's when it kind of messes up the EC and the cation exchange. Yep. And the soil and everything is dialed in. So he told me, he was like, look, just put the soil in the bed, keep it watered, and watch out. And I was like, okay, here we go.
You think the minnows will eat the worms?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to do. Actually, Pooter loves his worms. Pooter over here will see that? How quick that was?
Yep.
That goldfish just came over and he was gone. Like, both those worms were gone.
So just every time you go through there, make yourself that little vibrating stick.
Yep.
Pull up as many as you can and throw them in the fish pond.
That's exactly what I'm doing right through here. I mean, it was like a mound of them. Like this. That's why the stick right here, like I said, this little rod here, it's like my best friend. Like I can check, see how moist it. Look, there's a worm hanging off of it.
Yep. Now
Yeah, that's how.
there's another method to get them to completely ball up to breed, and that's called avocado tech. Now it doesn't have
Yep.
to be an avocado; it can be any hard-shelled, fruit or vegetable, and they'll come up and they'll start eating into it, and then now you have an easy way of collecting. So it's the way to do it is work with nature. There you go. Well, you let it go too far.
That didn't take long.
No, it doesn't. It literally within 24 hours they're gonna
Look at them. Look at the damn roly polies.
So I would say that you do these precautionary methods to really start to control the worms and get aggressive at first, right? And because you can always add them back, you just can't take them away, or it's more difficult to take them away.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of. Oh, look at the springtails.
Yep. You got a nice system there, my friend.
Oh, earwig. Don't you bite me, you bastard.
No, they're great predators, man. They'll keep shitting
Oh,
down.
yeah. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, I've always said, stewardship at this point is key. And me and Mo were talking about the worm castings this morning, and I was like, look, I'm going to ask Leighton about what, oh, look at the skink. Hopefully he'll stay there. He's on the log, on the end of the log.
Oh, nice. Is that a water salamander or a land salamander?
A land. It's called a skink.
Okay. Blue tail. Very, very pretty.
Yeah, blue tail skink. I got them. They're everywhere in here. I mean, that's where all my shrimp went. Like I was getting ready to tell you, I had cherry shrimp. And then a week ago, about 2 weeks ago now, I put some blue dream shrimp. They're kind of like cherry, but they're blue. I can't find them anywhere. Like I think the lizards are eating them. I think I've got mama and papa lizards in here, and they've got babies. I mean, I see them whereas I wasn't seeing them at all. Now I'm seeing them everywhere. Look at this. Look at the pile of shit.
Is that from a lizard?
That's skink shit. That's how big they are. That's skink shit.
Well, you know who's eating your shrimp.
There's shrimp right there.
That's a hell of a lot of shrimp. That's probably 4 or 5 of them.
yeah, damn skinks, man. They do great because they eat roly polies. They eat worms, but the system. I mean, I must have God. If I'm seeing them, look, he ran off, but there he is again. He's back.
Yeah, he just took off.
I mean, they don't even care if I'm around anymore. Like that's the thing. Like that's how I know they're like mice. Like if you see them, there must be thousands of them.
Well, you might want to think about getting something to trap them, so that you can keep them in balance too.
There's Plinko.
Oh yeah, good algae eater.
He's gotten big.
Yeah.
And there's Scooter. He's gotten big.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Digger over here, and the Monstera is 3 feet. That's 3 feet, almost 3.5 feet of leaf there. From up there to down here, it's like 3.5 feet.
That's beautiful.
And then we've got a new one.
I was going to say, what's the ecosystem like underneath? Oh, look at those aerial roots. Very cool.
Some of them go into the pond, but they don't make it past the pond water because the turtles, you can't have nothing nice with turtles. See, look at them. They're staring at me like, feed me, Seymour. Feed me. That's all they do is eat. And then we got Digger over here. He was over here. There he is. I see him. Come here, Digger. Hey, Dig.
So he's what we call a terrapin, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's a little box turtle. And he's been living here on the property with us for, whoop, lost my headphones. Hold on. He's been living here on the property for about 7 months now, 8 months. We
Did you
keep his
get
little
him?
water bowl.
Did you
He's
get him
here
out
on the
of
property.
Did you get him out of the wild, or did you buy him at a pet store?
No, right here on my property here.
Nice,
Kids found him and brought him up here.
nice.
He's
Those
gone
kids
into
are
the
good for
hole
food,
there.
right?
Yeah, they were like, "Yeah, okay, keep him, yeah, keep him." I was like, that's when I built this whole thing here, and I was like, I wanted to keep him. I wanted to keep his home, where he came from, as close as possible. So we built him all this, and he has full access, to the light. He can come up from underneath here. He can go down through here and come around, and he can. Sometimes I see him sitting on the log there, getting this. This is UVB, this is a T5 basically.
Yep.
Light, and then this is a heat lamp here. So we've got the guys can come on up that log there and rest right here on this whole bank right here on this
So
road.
everybody can sunbathe.
Yeah, everybody likes to come up here. Some like yesterday, a couple days ago, Scooter was actually all the way up on here, sitting over there by the succulent there, and Scooter was all the way up on towards the end of the log, not all the way up on the rock, but all the way up to the log. But Scooter, the big one, the big girl, she'll come all the way up on and be hanging out up here. I haven't seen them like cross over into here yet, but I do see them laying on the rock. So
Well, they're more aquatic than they are terrestrial. So now,
yeah,
if she is a female, she may lay eggs in the other turtle's little space, Digger.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping happens. Like I'm hoping I hope I got lucky and got a male and female, and when they do, she'll be able to come on up and cross over, do her thing, and then go back.
So it might be interesting to see how mature, like how old the turtle has to be to begin to be reproductive.
I think I AI'd that, and I think it was around 4 or 5 years,
Okay.
if I remember correctly. And certain species are different.
Always.
But yeah, I think remember looking at these, and if I had male and female, like the females don't need, like they'll lay eggs either way. Like she'll come up here and lay eggs, but they just aren't fertile. So she needs a male to fertilize them, but she'll lay either way when she's ready. The eggs will just form, and she'll come up here and do her thing. Now, whether they're fertile or not, well, I don't know.
Time will tell.
But time will tell. Let me see if I can catch her. Give me. Oh shit.
Whoa.
she's strong, man. God damn.
That was a good catch, man.
She's gotten big. Real big. She was silver dollar when I got her. Say, for instance, I've already gone too far, and say this is all worm casting, and things aren't growing right. Would it just be easy just to scoop it out and replace the soil, or would it be like an amendment type thing?
I would say you can amend it. You can always add a little bit more. I would say probably sand and clay and not silt, because worm castings are kind of a silt.
Yeah, yeah. So I've got this over here. I wanted to show you this. So this is pea gravel mainly, but it's also construction sand. So it's I added construction sand to the silt and sand that I get from the reservoir, because the construction sand has got bigger grains.
Yep.
It's like, so it gives me better aeration. So you can see like some of that pea gravel is tiny, but then you
So
like
I
some
would
of
take an aggressive stance. I would use avocado tech and use the vibrating stick. Every worm I catch, I throw right in with the turtles and the fish and let
yeah
them have fun with it. And then I would start to add that in, as you're taking stuff out. And it won't hurt to, like, if you see a big clod of worm castings, just scoop it out and replace it with a handful of soil.
yeah that's kind of what I was headed towards. I was in my head I was like if it got to the point where I'm not seeing good growth and I'm seeing like too much nutrient, it's like it's just overwhelming plants. Like I'm seeing signs of well too much nutrient,
Yep.
and I'm not seeing that yet. But if I'm saying if I was, the best recourse of action would be just to basically uh, remove like that's the biggest thing for me is like removing things in this is kind of difficult because it kind of messes up the whole thing when I start removing and replacing. But if I was going, like, say all of this is worm castings, scoop maybe the top 2 inches off and replace it with new soil or fresh, maybe a fresh mulch or like a fresh, like IMO4 or IMO5.
I would be hesitant to add soil because you're just going to encourage more worm growth. Whereas
That's what I did. That's what I did with the IMO4 and 5. Like literally, like I put it in, and like you said, I just created a monster with the worms. Like they just came in and just destroyed the. I mean, all that IMO4 and 5 was gone in like 2 weeks.
So again, I would add just sand. The little pebbles are fine,
Yeah.
and get yourself some clay. Go down,
Mhm.
hike a creek till you find where there's a clay vein,
Yep.
and just harvest it. And if it rolls like a snake in your fingers, you've got pure clay. If it crumbles, it's somewhat contaminated. But again, and contaminated means there's other materials mixed in, other parent materials. Either one is fine.
Right.
It's just and again, you want to dry that clay out 100% so it's dust.
Yep.
You want it to work down into the soil system. If you roll up a little
Gotcha.
snake or a clay ball and throw it in there, it's not going to be nowhere near as effective as it would be in a powder form.
Hmm.
So just leave it in the sun and let it get cooked till you probably want to solarize it, like put clear plastic over the top of it, because as it turns to dust, the wind's just going to blow it away.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I do with this. So this is silt and sand from the reservoir, and I added a little bit of construction sand to it. You can see that it's
Yep.
got algae growing. You can see kind of a green tint to it,
Yep.
and
Very
we're
cool.
starting to get grass growing in it. So the grass is starting to spread. And then I've stuck this down here, and we do have roots.
What is
There's
it?
some root. It's a cut. It's a cut.
A cutting?
A,
A cannabis
yeah,
cutting?
yeah. I took it from outside, one of my outside plants, and you can see the roots. And I
Yeah.
just took the cut and I stuck it right down in there, and it
So,
took about 2 weeks, but it rooted.
that is crazy. So you didn't even use like a cloner or nothing.
Nothing. Nope. Just stuck it right down in there, just like that.
Well, cut
Yeah.
those dead leaves off. You don't want the plant wasting energy on that.
Well, I wasn't gonna keep it. I just wanted to see. I'm already way over my allowed limit, but we're gonna be cutting most of these out. But yeah, that I wanted to show you, like that is.
Well, that indicates a very, very biologically active ecosystem. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And did the same with the grass here. That rooted. I don't want to pull it out now, but I haven't checked these in a while. I don't know if these have rooted yet. It stuck those. No, I haven't. I don't see any roots yet on that. Yeah, you can see a snail on there.
That's so cool. You really do.
Yeah,
You do have a beautiful system, you know, and I wish that
thank you.
cannabis was less of a demon in the minds of so many people. Because you could bring kids in there and show them this, and they would just go ballistic. But
Oh
because
yeah, the kids don't even care. They don't even care about the plants. They come right over here. They'll be like, right.
those are your kids. You know, it's not like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
bringing a bunch of kids in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Because I mean, literally, like this is a great inspirational tool for kids because you do have all this wildlife, and it would probably encourage a lot of them to make a terrarium, which was something I
Yeah.
did when I was a kid, and I loved that thing. And I had,
Yeah.
you know, like 4 or 5 different types of bugs. I had a couple fish, like just like you, a little turtle, and you know, in a 55-gallon tank. So half of it was aquatic, and the other half was terrestrial.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's a jumping spider. He's kind of running around from me. He's got some bait. See, he's caught some stuff.
Yep. He's hiding from you.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off there.
That's right. But you know, that's a great learning tool. You know, it's like aquaponics. You bring a kid to an aquaponics facility where they're growing veggies with the fish, and you talk about, you know, the plumbing, the electrical, all the things that are involved in doing it, and those kids get super inspired.
This is a Kimmy Pure bag. I mean, if I set this down, this is what there was a worm in there just a minute earlier. It must, and I have no idea how it got in there, Leighton. Like, it was a big ass worm. It must have been in there from a casting or something.
Yeah, from
it then grew huge in there. But I just keep those. Like, I have one over there in the creek, and then after about a month, they need to come out and change them out. But when I set them on top of the soil, man, that thing here, this is a biological haven. It's just activated biochar and some different types of synthetic clays and polymers that they put in this bag to clean the water.
Yep.
And the biology in there is insane. I mean, I put it on, just lay it right there, and everything just comes up and just mines the bag.
Well, there's another natural trap for you. So every time you take that out, you know, twice a day, come out and harvest the worms and throw them in with the turtles and the fish.
Yep. And then I have one pad. This is a nitrate pad. So I just will take this out and put it in a bucket, slosh it around. Worm, right? No, what is it? A root? Is it a root? But I'll put this in a bucket of water, slosh it around, clean it, set it back down in there, and then take that water and pour it on my outdoor plants.
There you go.
And that's all I have to do. Look at all these. This is the lucky bamboo here. So this is towards the end of the creek. This is what's cleaning most of the creek. Shit like this.
Now, do you ever gently sponge the excess algae off it?
Yep, that's what I'm doing. That's kind of my biggest thing on stewarding in here. Like, I have to come around and do this. I have to pull it off. I've got to let it, make sure it doesn't get overwhelming. Like, I'll pull some of it off the roots, you know. But yeah, it needs to be managed for sure. And then I'll just run my hand. I'll act like a hearn or like a crane walking through the, you know, and I'll just do this, you know. And yeah, you claw it and you kind of shake it, and that's what that pad is for, sitting here before at the end here. That's going to catch a lot of that excess that I'm just, you know, working. You know, and then there are no filters. You know, that's the only filter. But I'll just do this. I'll get in there and pull all this out, and then just bring it over here and put it right in the soil. And you can see that's what I did this morning, and it'll be gone tomorrow. Like, that'll be completely gone. It goes so fast. It's insane.
Who's eating them? The worms or the bugs?
Everything.
Okay.
Everything. I see everything on it. Everything loves algae. It's like crack cocaine to all the critters. It's like when I put it in there, it's like, ooh, candy. Yeah. Candy, it's like the most concentrated thing. I guess it draws them too. You know what I mean? Like it's probably like they smell it, they feel. I mean, I don't know what's going on in a little isopod's head down there. I can only imagine that if somebody threw a giant pile of cocaine down on the soil, those who want it are going to come running, and that's what happens. It's when I throw algae on. I mean, it's just like a swarm, and I don't see it until the morning. Like I'll come in here just before the lights turn on because I have the UVA and the UV and heat lamp kick on about 15 minutes prior to the big lights coming on.
Okay.
So I can come in here and walk around and see things, and before the lights come on. When I do that, when I come in the morning, it's like isopod, like it's like the fairgrounds, okay? When you just go in, you just a sea of like people.
Yeah.
Well, it's like isopods just run around everywhere, all over the place. They're not messing with the plants, but they're just working and mining everything that I threw down the day before. So I'm basically throwing down something on this bed every day.
You're bringing up a very, very valuable point. The isopods are their main focus is to chew up organic matter. So like worms, they're going to leave behind a very fine worm casting like soil condition.
Yep.
So you may want to actually start taming those guys too. Now I know you mentioned a friend of yours who had a system for 2 years, an horizontal system for a couple of years, and was struggling with the worms, overdoing it. And so
yes.
I wonder if he has isopods as well, especially on scale. And if he does, that's speeding the whole process up. So, he probably ought to get either a lizard or something like that's going to eat the isopods like crazy.
Yeah.
And something that he's big enough that he can see and it's not going to breed and get out of control in this tent. But the lizards will also help with the worms, especially if you like create that, avocado tech or shell tech. The friggin' the lizard will just knock it over and gorge himself. So, again, using nature to balance nature is the key to the whole thing. And I, like you're doing, you're stewarding it. It's no longer about managing it. It's just about stewarding it. So I think, those three key things, the little ratchet stick, the avocado tech, and anytime you're getting, surface worms, you just grab them and throw them in, and you've got those blue-tailed
skinks.
Yeah,
skink. Yeah,
skinks.
Skink. SKINK, I think. Skink.
Yeah, that are also patrolling, and in his case, he probably doesn't have those. So, and I would not put an iguana in your plants. Those things, they're crazy, and they're also
that would be fun, huh?
Yeah, but if he goes to a pet store and just talks to somebody who's really well versed in lizards or reptiles, I'm sure there's ones that he could recommend. Like I don't think you want one of those chameleons because I don't think they'll eat they tend to be in the trees.
Yeah.
But a ground crawler would be really beneficial.
Yeah, the skinks I've noticed.
Dude, you may want to get a lizard yourself to manage the skinks, because the lizard will eat those things like nobody's business. That's popcorn and candy, man. And then once he gets big enough, return him to the pet store for a smaller one, and then just keep a rotation of we'll call him a balancing lizard or balancing to keep those bigger guys in check from getting out of control. Because if they have population after population after population, they are going to outrun you, dude.
I see them outside. Now I'm seeing them. I've always seen them outside, but now inside, like I was seeing a few here and there, like sporadic. Now they've had babies, Now I'm seeing baby ones, and now the babies are like, I'm looking at one right now, literally, and it's they don't care anymore. Like they think of me as like, oh, he's always been here. Like not unlike mom and dad who run and hide. I'd never see them. The babies are like, oh, look, hey, cool.
Now,
No,
did
right in your
you
face.
introduce them, or did they just
No,
your way in?
they just showed up. Well, there he is, right there. He don't care. I'm here.
They are good looking though.
They are beautiful. They got that blue stripe, that bright blue tail. They're beautiful. And they definitely are taking care of a lot of the smaller isopods. They don't really do much. I see a lot of big dairy cows. So I got dairy cows in here, and those things have gotten to be like thumbnail size. I don't know if they're taking care of those, but they definitely um, take care of the smaller ones and help with the smaller ones. But yeah, everything else, Leighton, has been, really good. I'm coming up on 2 years. Everybody's telling me, 2 to 3 years is where you're gonna start seeing your problems, where you're gonna start seeing, your thing, whatever it is, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen around the 2 to 3 year mark, which I kind of expect. That's kind of what happened in the saltwater aquarium world. You set them up, and then if you don't know what you're doing, and if you don't maintain them properly, they will they'll get out of hand and crash on you fast. I now have the knowledge of seeing a crash, going through a crash, and pulling myself out of a crash, bringing it back to life. So now I have a really good idea of basically how to handle the creek and the pond. And I pretty much have already, like you said, we just talked about the worm castings. That was the next thing. Basically, everything's turning into worm castings, but all I have to do is just keep amending the proper amendments and then stewarding, like pulling the worms out. I'll do an avocado, tech thing where I'll just cut and set it down here. When I fill them up, like when you pull it up, most of the time I just let them go. You know what I mean? I just let them keep doing their thing. Well, instead of doing that, I'll just scoop them up and throw them in the fish pond or keep them in a bucket for the fish. That's
And let's
simple
face
as
it, the
that.
worms will drown. So even if
Yeah.
there's an abundance of worms, they'll just drown, and the boys will pick and choose as they want. And
Yeah.
I don't think it'll create any other water quality issues. I mean, remember, don't get nuts. Like if you get a huge amount,
Yeah.
right? But if you throw a small handful in there and a few of them drown, the guys will clean it up later. And if you do start getting huge volumes of them, just to put them in a bucket and put them outside, or feed them your food scraps, whatever. Utilize them as best you can, or just let them go.
Yeah, go fishing, do something with
I'm
them.
going to jump in, Leighton, on that one because in my aquaponic system, I had worms living in the water. As long as you have enough dissolved oxygen, because the worms breathe through their skin, they will survive in a pure water column.
Now, I had the exact opposite thing. I used to feed my tropical fish worms, and I would often see them die and turn white. So there might have been something else, Ken. Maybe it's the fish, or the abundance of fish. I don't know. So, well,
They weren't in my fish tank though. They were in my aquaponic system, which was a flood and drain.
Oh, that's different.
Floating raft bed.
That's different. So yeah, with the ebb and flow, they are going to get air exposed to atmospheric air. So a little different. But anyway, everything, like we always say, Ken, don't be a moron.
Don't be a moron.
Yeah, do your due diligence. If you throw a bunch in there and you're seeing a whole bunch just sitting there, scoop them out. But my gut feeling is, as long as you're being, realistic about how many you're throwing in there, they won't ever create a water quality problem.
Yeah, little things like I've been seeing little things like this pop up, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, diversity, my friend.
Yep.
So listen, we're gonna wrap at 1 hour today, and I'm going to kind of keep this up until the end of the month due to the fact I'm moving, which is no fun at all.
No,
so
it never
once
is.
I get settled into my new place, we'll get back on the long format. So is there any other questions or things you'd want to discuss today before we bounce?
I think we pretty much went over everything that I had on my list with the worm casting. That's the biggest thing I've seen, as far as like being a potential problem. It just,
I think you're in a safe place. That now that you're concerned, you can get ahead of this.
Yeah.
And again, amend with the little gravel. I love that texture of sand because I love the concrete sand. That's what it's called. It's coarse.
That's it. Concrete. Yep. Yep.
And then mixed with the river or your pond sand. And I would say, ideally, you take that pond mixture, throw it in a bottle, something that it's big enough you can shake it, and then do your what we call field textural test, and try to flush all the silt out of it so that it's just sand, because we don't want you to add more silt because that's going to contribute to that problem of too high of organic matter.
Yeah, that's what the worms are eating. Like you're exactly right. It's the silt because they run through that, turn it into poo, and if you can't keep the poo or the worm casting in that little ball, they stack on top. But once they get too wet, they collapse on one another, and you lose your aeration, and it just becomes a big mess.
And I'm still a fan of having worms. I think they really do a valuable thing in the system. But again, because you don't have any predators, you have to be the predator. And you have to be diligent about it. Especially, once you start putting avocados down and you're no longer seeing worms come up to it, or we should say shell tech, because I don't want people to think you can only use avocados. But once you create those shell tech bait bombs and you're not seeing a ton of worms up there, then you can back off and then just let it, then kind of manage it from there on out. Every month or two, put out one and see what happens. And again, you're still going to have some in there. But the key is this, management at this point.
Yeah, we want balance. That's all. I don't want to overload of worms. Like every time, like when I stuck the stick down and just did a little quick swirl and pull the stick out, I got worms stuck on my stick. Yeah. That's probably an indication of too many worms.
And I really appreciate you coming on here and
thank you, sir.
More with you. I mean, it's just such a beautiful system.
Thank you.
I'm really, really deeply proud of you. Show great respect for your hard work and
thank you, sir.
In doing that.
I appreciate all your knowledge, man. It wouldn't be here without you.
That's impressive, man. It's very, very impressive. You should give yourself a hug and a pat on the back for your hard work and efforts.
Big time, yep.
Ken, any house cleaning that you need to take care of?
Well, just wanted to apologize for last Wednesday. Andy's internet went down, so we couldn't do the show. So we should be doing it this Wednesday. But Josh, thank you so much for what you've created and for bringing it to people, for showing the mistakes. I just want to say about the far reds, people have actually been using that as a concentration for taking out bad bugs in their grows. And the device I saw, the guy had to literally wear a welding helmet to protect himself from the far red.
I think is that UVC that they use.
Yeah. So, it's that balance. It's don't be a moron. You want all the light frequencies, but Leighton, have fun moving, brother. And I wish you good luck. Okay.
Good luck.
Well, I want to say this, Ken. I'm very, very blessed. I got lucky again. I just can't tell you how many times I've, been in a really, really bad pickle. And for whatever reason, the universe does its thing. And even though I'm panicking, I'm trying not to panic. I put out my intentions. I'm like, this is this is what I really need and want. And, it's a prayer, maybe not a formal prayer like, you see people on their knees doing this. It's an intention. I put out the intention.
Mhm.
Lo and behold, I nailed this amazing little single, like tiny house. I went over there the other day, taped out like how to fit I chinga the whole thing to get all of the furniture that I need to operate in something that's a third of the size that I live in now, maybe even a little less, maybe 25% of the size. But I have an outdoor shop with a carport over top, a parking spot. I got a whole backyard that I can, set up my brew tanks. And Poe and Cheeto have a little run in a friggin' orchard. And then all kinds of fruit trees all around this property. And, we're on a semi-busy road, but not so bad. So we can walk out through the neighborhoods. And so I really got lucky big time. And I can keep them both because there was a point in time that I thought I was actually going to have to get rid of Cheeto, and it broke my friggin' heart. Like I said, no way am I ever getting rid of Poe. Never. I'll sleep in the car. But with Cheeto, it's very different. It's a different thing when you have two dogs than one dog.
Yeah. Well, Leighton, source will supply as long as you believe.
That's it.
Great way to put it. And Ken, as always, thank you so much for all the work that you do to put this together every week. I don't think anybody understands your loyalty and dedication and what efforts are required to keep this thing rolling. So thank you, brother. And Josh, as always, thank you so much for coming on the show. Give us a couple hours, well, an hour today, but usually it's more. Getting the tour of this incredible system that you do.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Guys, everybody say peace out because we're out.
Peace.